Hi everyone, and welcome to my presentation on gluten-free versus wheat. Are they the same thing? My name is Jamie Havens, and I will be the narrator for today's presentation. So let's get started to talk about gluten and wheat and the differences and similarities between those two items. So what is wheat? Wheat is by nature a cereal grain, and it is what we use to, when processed, to create things like flour to yield products like bread and pasta, cookies, so a lot of our favorite things that we eat. So it's been around for a long time, and we use it in many products now, especially processed products that you can find in your grocery store. Some history about wheat. Humans started eating wheat nearly 17,000 years ago, so quite a long time now, but in the grand scheme of the world, not so long. It originated in the Tigris and Euphrates River Valley region, so in today's present time, that is the country of Iraq. That is where wheat started. And it was first planted here in the United States in the 1700s, specifically in 1777. So it's been around in the United States for over 200 years as well. Some other fun facts, approximately 3/4 of the U.S. grain products are made from wheat flour. So that means that when you pick up a product in the grocery store, like a pasta or a cereal perhaps, that 3/4 of them have some sort of wheat flour in it or processed wheat flour. Some other household products that include wheat that are not something you would eat are things like your hair conditioners, so soap and conditioners, and body lotions and lip balms. So we use wheat not only in food, but we also use it in other household products as well that you may come across. So let's talk about gluten. A lot of people think that wheat and gluten are the same thing, and they actually use those terms interchangeably. However, wheat and gluten are not the same thing. Gluten is a protein that is found in wheat and other grains. So gluten is in the wheat grain, but gluten, if separated from the wheat grain, is not wheat. So keep that in mind. It's a protein, whereas wheat is a grain. So gluten acts like the glue inside of foods, and it helps them to maintain their shape and their form. So gluten is the protein in wheat that helps it maintain its shape, essentially. Some facts about gluten. It's a little bit more of a newer term and ingredient that we are aware of today. Doctors started documenting complaints that are related to gluten sensitivities about 200 years ago. In 1888, they started suggesting that we eliminate gluten from our diet to help intestinal upsetment and intolerance. And in 1952 was the first recorded note of intestinal mucosa noted as related to gluten intolerance. So essentially, finding some damage inside of the intestine that was directly linked to gluten insensitivity. Some other facts about gluten. So we already know that gluten is the protein found in wheat, but it is also the protein found within other grains as well, such as barley, rye, and a lesser known grain called triticale. Some takeaways about this. So the big takeaway is that I want you to know that wheat is a grain and gluten is a protein found in grains. So when you're out looking at products and you're considering what you can eat or what you can't eat, just because it says it's wheat-free, check for other grains as well, because it might not be gluten-free. But wheat-free foods that are completely free of grains are also gluten-free as well. So just keep that in mind, that when you're talking about gluten insensitivities, whether you're at the doctor's or if you're letting somebody know what you can eat, if they're going to offer to cook you dinner, gluten and wheat are not the same thing. So again, wheat is a grain and gluten is a protein found in grains. So thank you for watching this presentation. Here are all of the sources that I use to find more information about wheat and grain and gluten. So if you're interested in learning more, please look up those websites and you can do a little bit more research on your own. Alrighty, thank you.